analyst. Well, let's move on. All eyes really from a market perspective is what next, right? From the India 3 administration, from Modi 3.0. We've got Indranil Sen Gupta now joining us. He's Economist and Head of Research at CLSA India. A sort of decades-old veteran who's sort of seen many governments come and go and has tracked policy closely. Indranil, good morning. Great to have you with us here on CNBC. Prashant this side.
Yeah.
So you put out a couple of notes, one this morning, but I'll start with what you put out yesterday, Indranil, where you're saying that one of the priorities of for the government, and you expect to see measures on this front, is to help with rural distress. You say that monsoons have been good, but there's about 8-9 months of the effect which needs to be countered. So just run us through what your expectations are in terms of specifics and what should we see?
Yeah. So, we had obviously El Nino, and that led to a poor crop the last Kharif. And farm income, was flat to down. Even now, you've had somewhat better Rabi, but then there's the summer heat, and we have to see how that plays out. The good news is that you get La Nina coming, so the Met thinks rains will be 106% of normal, and that should make for a bumper Kharif crop. At the same time, given that farm income has taken a hit, it's very unlikely that farmers will start spending till they have realized their proceeds from the crop, which will drag on till about December. I think the government has been taking several measures. They've extended free rice and wheat to 80% of the population. There is this Bharat rice, Bharat wheat, which are being sold at subsidized levels. Now the import duty on wheat has been brought down. I think that there will probably be further measures funded by this $12 billion of additional profit transfer that the RBI has been able to make. So one of the options is to raise the farmer subsidy maybe to 8,000 rupees from 6,000 rupees, costs about $2 billion. Another could be to offer, one woman per poor household, 1,000 rupees a month, and that will cost about $12 billion between September to March, which will be met by the RBI. And in subsequent years, you would see 0.5% of GDP of spending from the budget. So I think that given that the government has this option of higher RBI income, maybe, they will shift to funding, welfare schemes or try to help rural India.
But it's not a shift away from focus on some of the investment schemes, right?
No, this year there is no conflict. Next year we have to see. But this year, since you have this additional money from the RBI, there is no conflict.
But even in the interim budget in FI, when they presented it, for many of the capex sectors, I mean, roads, of course, is top of the list, which is closely tracked. The rate of growth of allocation, FY25 budget estimates, was far lower. And that is, of course, because government has already over the last many years done a lot of heavy lifting. So you expect that to continue when we get the full budget?
See, there gradually has to be a lower pace given the amount that has been put in by way of public capex. Plus, if you are trying to bring down the fiscal deficit to 4.5%, then, naturally you have to slow down on the public capex side. And I think the Honorable Finance Minister said that we have done the heavy lifting now, at some stage private capex will come in.
How much of these contributions, as per you, could actually return back in the form of GDP growth for us?
So I think that, if you look at econometric studies, they say that $1 of, government consumption-based spend brings $1 of GDP, a rupee of GDP, and a rupee of capex spend brings about 2.5 rupees of GDP. But the point is that 2.5 rupees takes a long time to come. So therefore, maybe, somewhere you need to balance both the immediate as well as the future.
Indranil, just one point. This morning you put out a note where you say that the Somanathan committee recommendations on how to administer pension for government employees that may come through, right? Now they are saying that the old pension, the committee essentially said, your conclusion was that if the recommendations are implemented, about 75% of what the OPS, the old pension scheme for people who retired before 2004, I mean, that income can come through as pension, right? If these recommendations are implemented, how likely is this likely to go through, in your opinion?
See, I wouldn't know that, but based on media reports, what I understand is that if the OPS was worth about 100 rupees, the NPS was worth about 21 rupees. And, if Mr. Somanathan's proposals, as reported in the media, go through, then, the new scheme would be worth about 73 rupees. And, clearly, given there would be a boost to incomes of government employees, we expect a fillip to discretionary demand, whether it is in autos, whether it is in housing.
Right, Mr. Sen Gupta, thank you for putting all those points on the table. Of course, we will connect once some of these actually do come to fruition post the budget, and then take a call from where it goes all from here.